Hey now, what's up? It's your girl Thick Trap Hippie with Healthy Hood Network, and you're listening to my podcast, The Health Trap. So if you've been watching the news lately, I'm so sure that you've heard about this new virus going around. It is the coronavirus. And no, it is not the beer. So you can't get it from drinking the Corona beer. It's actually a strain of virus that's going across China, and it's spreading to other parts of the world. Now, this virus does have a history, and it has actually been no big alarm that was caused for this virus that was rain. Usually it's like basically a common cold that's behind it. It's about 3 strains that's developed in the last 20 years. And so this is actually linked to some serious respiratory issues, and respiratory failure. And it's even had some death. So now that it's crossed over into our great old land of America in the United States, we have our alerts on 1,000. There are, as I said, a few strains. Believe it's SARS. It's not the same as SARS. I take that back. But there's some type of similarity. But the coronavirus is an example of SARS. And it's important to note that the 2019 nCoV is not the same as SARS. So, however, that's transparent or not, this is what from the reports that I'm reading. Now, in the World Health Organization, they announced that they're declaring it a public health emergency. And this is an international concern due to the spreading of this virus. So to prepare yourself, I would definitely put a lot of things in my arsenal. And certain things that you need to know. So to my hoods, my black communities, make sure your kids listen up. All right. We have some experts that have given some great advice, and no, there's not a vaccine for it yet. So let me just give you a little light. Let me sprinkle y'all with some game and let you know how to protect yourself against this most recent version of this coronavirus, this strain. And I want to just break it down. According to the CDC, the coronaviruses are a large family of viruses, and that are common in many different species of animals. So I guess protect your dogs or watch your animals too. And, I guess they can catch colds and things too. And some viruses go from animal to human. Apparently, this may be one of them. However, this most current strain is a new respiratory virus, and it was first identified in China. I believe it was in Wuhan or something like that. Do your research, Google it. And that's been infecting people, not animals. So, the most common signs of the infection is respiratory symptoms like shortness of breath, breathing difficulties, coughing, a fever. Some rare cases actually has caused pneumonia and a severe respiratory syndrome, acute respiratory syndrome at that. It also has caused kidney failure, and to the max of extremes, some people have died. So this has caused death. So I need y'all to pay attention and, zoom in on these symptoms in this situation. Symptoms appear in as little as 2 days, and they can last up to 2 weeks after exposure. So if someone has been to China, if you think someone has been exposed to this, tell them to stay away from you for 2 weeks. All right. Like the previous coronaviruses, this particular virus has emerged from the animal source through, this is what experts are saying, and it's actually crossed over into humans. So we're not sure which one it is yet, which strain it is. They're not sure yet, but it has changed species. So I don't know if somebody out there messing with animals. Please stop kissing your animals. I'm not against the animals, all for the 4-legged people, but I'm just saying we can't be doing this, it's cross-contamination. Now, the virus is being spread from person to person, and typically coronaviruses infections are transmissible person to person. Only once someone infected is shown the symptoms. But the Chinese have said that they've indicated this particular strain may be infectious when people aren't even sick yet. So, start protecting yourself. Now, what I would suggest is wash your hands a lot. Keep hand sanitizers on deck. Hand sanitizers all around. Load up everything you touch. When you pump your gas, when you finish, get in your car, spray your hands with hand sanitizer. Every doorknob, Lysol is your friend. Hand sanitizer is your friend. Okay? The best protection is to wash your hands and be mindful of the contact when you're touching anybody's face or yours. Be mindful of that. If you cough in your hand, if you drool, whatever fluid come out, please wash your hands and sanitize them. It's just nasty. The most common way viruses like these spread is from droplets, little particles of viruses, and they land on the surfaces that people touch the most. Like when they touch their face after eating, sneezing, rubbing your eye, rubbing your nose. Wash your face, wash your hands as often as possible, and make sure you wash them for 20 seconds with soap and water. Use an alcohol-based, I prefer not, but go ahead. Use your alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And they work. Most hand sanitizer is alcohol, so, But I'm just saying, we'll use it in the absence of soap and water. So if you can't get to some soap and water, break out that hand sanitizer. But that does not mean that hand sanitizer replaces soap and water throughout. Combination. Hit it with both. Always avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Those are like the entry points to our immune system. Do not touch your hands. Do not put your hands in your face as often. It's just, it's so many germs our hands touch. So come on now. If you're sick, I know we have PTO, we got families, we got bills, but if you sick, stay home. Keep your ass at home. Keep the kids at home. I am so sick of the contamination in the educational system. Kids get so gross colds. They get the most, infectious colds. They get the worst germs from school, each other. I'm just saying. When you catch a cold and you catch one from a kid, believe me, it is the worst cold. So, if your kids are sick, keep your ass at home. Save your sick time, not for the club, not for sleeping in. Save that shit for when you're sick, okay? Cover your mouth when you cough. Duh. Cough in your elbow. Get a tissue. Don't just be coughing out your germs all into the world and then looking at people like, ugh. If you in a lift and somebody is coughing, look at their ass, crack your window, something. Tell their ass, don't be coughing by you. You let them know that you don't want their fucking germs. Put a mask on. They have these disposable masks. They have some that are washable. Get you some masks. If you are sick and you gotta get out in these streets, cover your contagious mouth up. Nobody wants your germs. Okay? Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Like I said, doorknobs, change your pillowcases, toilet handles, light switches, door handles on the refrigerator, just common touched areas. All those areas, the knobs on the faucets. Don't touch that shit. Clean that shit every day, if not twice a day. Hand sanitize everything. That's your friend. I promise you. You'll be happy and you'll thank me later. On the natural note, your girl Thick Trap Hippie got some game for you. So, I suggest that you invest in some oregano oil. Please take your oregano oil, 4 drops every hour for the first signs of your symptoms. For the first 24 hours. And then me, I'm a G, so I take the whole vial. 1 milliliter, boom, down my throat. That's what I do because I don't deal with viruses. When I catch a cold, I sense a cold coming, your girl's going to kill that milliliter of oregano oil probably 2 to 3 times a day because I don't play with that shit. That's a natural antibiotic. It's an antiviral. This is a virus. It stops a virus from replicating. Let's just it's not rocket science, guys. Let's use our senses. Another natural alternative, elderberry. Y'all know I love elderberry. Elderberry is your friend. It is very potent, a potent strain of vitamin C. It's more potent than vitamin C. It's natural, and it is also an antiviral. Anytime these viruses are going on, make sure your family is loaded up with elderberry and oregano. Those are my top two go-tos. And the final one that I would give you, colloidal silver. That is your friend. Also an antiviral. You need to load up on these because you don't want your family to get these viruses. These things are not commonly found in your local Walgreens or Dollar Tree. So do some exploring. Come visit me at the health food store. Get the prices, get some samples, do whatever you got to do, but you need to get your hands on this. Make sure you read the label and understand the ingredients. If it has unnecessary things added to it, don't fuck with it. It's not all natural. So what I tell you to do is real. This is some real shit. We have threats going on with our health. Don't take this lightly. Make sure that you prepare your family and yourself and protect your family. When you're traveling, make sure you have the, understand where the restrictions are. Make sure you understand your environment. When you are boarding a plane, and if it has passengers that came from China, which it probably will, I would suggest, and I'm not saying to treat them any type of way, but me personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable with traveling with anybody that's recently been to China. They need to be quarantined. So people, I'm just saying, be aware of your travel restrictions and the places that you're going and the places that people may have been. It's not always as an open book, but just protect yourself. If you getting on something public, man, wear a mask, wear some gloves, have some sanitizer, take your elderberry, your oregano oil, your colloidal silver. I don't care if you get on there looking like a mummy. Just don't breathe in them damn germs, okay? Until this virus has been dealt with, and we don't know. They hush stuff down and then we don't hear about it after a while. We don't hear too much about it when these viruses have, dwindled away, but they're still around, obviously, because they're replicating and turning into different strains and all of that. So people pay attention. Now, I just wanted to make sure that you all, got a heads up on my version of my take on this coronavirus, and what people are talking about and what they recommend and just how to avoid being exposed to this. Prevention and treatment is not necessarily hard to get to. It's no vaccine to prevent this. The best way to prevent infection is to avoid being exposed to this virus. So avoid being in contact with anybody that has been exposed. If you see somebody sick and looking sick, keep your ass away from them. Tell them I love you, but you need 50 feet. Talk to me from over there. Write me a note, send me a text, email. There's a lot of ways to communicate with me, but don't be in my face if you sick. All right? Wash your hands often. Use soap and water. Use hand sanitizer. Make sure you pick up those natural products, all right? Now, I wouldn't tell you nothing that will hurt you. I'm going to tell you things that's going to help you. This is what I do. This is what I do for my people in the community, It's Black History Month, so your girl will be making some posts. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Thick Trap Hippie and at The Health Trap. It's your girl, Thick Trap Hippie with Healthy Hood Network, and you're listening to The Health Trap. Make sure you follow us.